Your morning blitz begins now.
Yeah, let's get going on a Wednesday. High of 78. Some rain around dinner time tonight, it looks like. But all in all, not too bad.
It's actually sprinkling right now.
Oh, is it really?
Just very light.
Oh.
So I don't think it doesn't look like it's going to last.
Sprinky.
That's a bummer. How are you, Kelly?
I'm great. I'm really hoping to get myself into some contacts later today. So, you know all the problems I've had with my eyeballs?
You're going to go through... Oh.
I know.
I thought you meant your phone. You were going to...
No.
I thought you were going to get up in some contacts.
Nope.
No? Okay.
I'm talking about my eyeballs.
Your eyeballs. Okay,
and I know
got it.
Kind of gross you out, but I have had so much done to my eyeballs in the last 6 months.
And you've been through it.
I've been through it. And a couple of, 2 surgeries, 1 procedure, lots and lots of stuff.
I'm
right?
glad you can still see.
So I am too. So we're hoping that perhaps I can get back into just having my plain old face out there to be. Yeah, this is my first time wearing glasses ever in my life, like full time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like you've known me.
Nothing but glasses.
Nothing but glasses.
Right.
Yeah, Thick Rick has known me with nothing but full face, baby. So I'm hoping to get some contacts and.
But with all the issues with your eyes, do you want a foreign object just sitting there in your eyeball?
I do.
You want to take that chance?
Yes, I absolutely want to take that chance. Yeah.
You're going to end up like having like 6 contacts sit behind and up top of your eye. They go in and they have to I forgot I had a pair in, so I put another pair in, and then I forgot and then moved, I put another pair in, and then you got like 4 pairs of contacts floating around your eyeball.
I feel like you think I'm dumb.
No. I am just saying I have heard stories about people doing that.
I have too. I have heard that as well. I will try to be, at my ripe age, I feel like I'm going to be pretty careful because I don't need more people with their fingers in my eyeballs. I really don't.
Only your fingers in your eyeballs.
That's right. So anyway, I thought
But like you said, at your age, you might forget and then start putting more contacts in. Just saying. Could happen. So just be careful, okay?
Well, thanks for the warning. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thick, how are you?
I'm good, man. Merry Christmas to all of us who are diehard NFL fans. Getting the schedule today.
Yeah. We already know that your Cowboys are starting the season off by playing the Super Bowl champion Eagles.
In Philly, the opening night. So it can only get better from there, the schedule.
Just all you got to do is pull the Lions and beat the Super Bowl champs at home like we did to start the season.
Yeah, but you have a really good football team.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're kind of screwed, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, that is true. All right, well, I'm fighting through. Apparently my body thought, hey, you're good. You're all caught up from Sonic Temple. You don't need any sleep. Just shot awake at like 12:45 this morning.
Oh, that happened to me 2 nights in a row. Isn't that awful?
Oh,
I feel for you.
Mad. Rolled around and rolled, and then I grabbed my phone. It's like 2:30. I hadn't gotten another, and then finally I just doom scrolled until I got in the shower.
You have to sometimes to get your brain to stop malfunctioning. My brain malfunctions in the middle of the night, and I'm thinking about everything from kindergarten on, everything that's gone wrong.
I'm wondering if it's because obviously, as I do every night, Nora and I did a little FaceTime, and now that we've signed our lease, and after the past 3 months of living apart, we're quickly closing the window on when her and the boys are moving here, June 7th. And so just the thought of getting everything set up and getting the move. And I got to go pick up the key because Nora's going to be here on Saturday and wants to see the place because I only did a video conference with her as I was walking through the place. So I think there's just a lot
to manage.
Going on.
Yes.
And it was just I think we'll wake up now.
Okay. I hope we're going to talk about the other keys you're going to pick up, too, at some point.
Yes, we will.
Okay. Good deal.
And we have to talk about... Yeah, I don't know...
Vroom, vroom?
Yeah.
All right.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. And on top of that, I also have to share the notification I just got on my TikTok account. Because I just got a notification on my TikTok account that I have to share coming up in about an hour.
Oh, yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I'll share that in about 1 hour. So let's go on a Wednesday with Blitz Morning Trivia. Thick, what you got?
I was about to say I slept like a baby last night, but your gummy thought the other night made that not make sense.
Oh, sleeping like a baby?
Yeah,
who just wake up all the time.
All right. just said, the NFL will be putting their schedule out today. And week 1, YouTube will exclusively stream a game for the first time. It will be streamed on YouTube. And it will not be played in the United States. Where will it be played? That is the question. If you want to hook up with $25 to go spend at Waterbeds and stuff, where will the exclusive YouTube streamed game, NFL Week 1, what country is it going to be in, the game itself? Tell us at 99-700. Be first, get the gift card.
Let's get that answer for Blitz Morning Trivia.
All right, the NFL schedule drops today. I think it's actually this evening. And week 1, we found out that YouTube will exclusively stream a game. That's never happened before. And the question was, where is that game being played? And it is Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Oh, okay.
That's where that game's going to be. We do know that Harbaugh and the Chargers will be in that game.
F-A-C-K, fact.
And we will find out who their opponent is today when the schedule drops. But, yeah, Sao Paulo, Brazil. And, the cool thing is you don't have to have a subscription to YouTube. It'll be free. It's not like you have to buy a subscription to watch this game. It's going to be around the world, free to everybody.
Yeah, okay, that's true. I guess
it's not YouTube TV.
Right.
It'll be on both, but it's like you can just go to YouTube and stream the game.
I don't like it.
Why?
Because I'm tired of these streaming services getting this. Just put it on the network.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm sick of them splitting up. Like, it was always like ABC, and then NBC got a Thursday night game, and then ESPN got a Sunday night game. And it's like, okay, now it's just Amazon Prime now gets a game, and now YouTube gets a game.
Yeah.
And
we
it's
have to deal with Peacock.
Right.
No,
At least, I will say this, at least it is a free service. Anyone can go watch it. You don't have the subscription. You don't have to pay the subscription fee to go watch it.
But things always seem to go wrong with these streamers, too.
That, too.
It's like all these people logging in. It's like, oh, well, I guess we can't handle all the traffic. I don't know. YouTube will be able to.
We put the world's second most famous sport on the internet, and we're surprised it's shut down when 1.3 billion people logged on at the same time.
Yeah, they're never ready to handle that.
Right.
And I remember that on Netflix this past year that happened, and everybody flipped out. And then the next time around, they got it right. It was fine. So, but, money, guys. It's always about money.
Always about the money.
If these streaming services are going to throw billions at you, you're going to let them show your game.
Yeah. Who's our winner?
Jenna Godell from Washington Courthouse was first in, so she's got $25 to spend at Waterbeds and Stuff and Beds and Stuff Superstores.
Congratulations, Jenna. I wanted to share this with you because I don't even know how to put this. Let's say you had just a whole bunch of free time, Kelly.
Okay.
What would you do with that free time? What's something that maybe you think, I wish I had more time to do this?
Okay, I know this is going to sound like a massive excuse, but the main thing that's in my brain right now about what I wish I had time to do is play pickleball.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Like extra, like go and do something like we're an organized sort of situation where I'm sort of obligated to exercise, but also I'm having fun and to try to get into a little bit better shape.
Okay. Well, I only ask because I can't imagine having this much free time. Now, the more I think about it, maybe this is how you make your money, because you have a successful YouTube channel and you make money by getting people to come to your YouTube channel, and you get paid by views and things like that. But to have this much time on your hands, I can't imagine, because I can't imagine how many hours of video you have to scroll through to put this together. Because there's a guy on YouTube who edited together 311 different movie scenes. And I have to assume you're not just grabbing it right off the bat. You're not like, I know where to get that word, I'm going to go to that particular. You have to search out the right version of the word, because what he did was he took the clips from 300 and different movie scenes to recreate the lyrics of Eminem's Lose Yourself, basically one or two words at a time.
Wow.
So I'm going to play you a clip. If you listen closely, you are going to hear Frank Sinatra, Patrick Swayze, Jennifer Connelly, Tobey Maguire, Adam Sandler, Will Smith, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Jonah Hill, and more in this clip. I can't imagine how much free time this person has in their hands. Take a listen to Lose Yourself.
The beat goes on.
Lose yourself.
And the music It's a moment.
You own it.
You better never
Let it go.
You only get one shot.
Do not miss your chance.
to blow.
This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music.
The moment.
You own it.
You better never let it go.
You only get
One shot.
Do not miss your chance.
Blood.
This opportunity
Comes once in a lifetime.
I love that. I think it's art. Honestly, like this guy's an artist.
It has to be. Because, I mean, it's on beat. It's not exactly the smoothest, but it's definitely on beat.
It's interesting. I love that. It's so fun.
I just can't imagine going through all the movie clips.
I live in that world.
Because you're not
Constantly looking for
Right.
stuff like that.
But you're not going to find, how long did you have to search for? Da-da-da, da-da-da.
Right, yeah.
I mean...
But it's like anything. If you decide you want to create something, it does take time. I mean, it takes time to find what you need, the materials and all that. And this is just the art this guy wanted to
That
create.
is true. That is some
I really
dedication.
like that.
That is some work.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
Good job on you.
I'm very impressed.
My ADHD could never sit there that long and edit that together. There is no way. 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, how much money can you stuff in a teddy bear? Authorities in New Jersey raided a massage parlor last week, which was suspected of being involved in a prostitution and money laundering ring. And, well, it was a huge success because that's because they recovered more than $750,000 at the massage parlor.
In one, is that big ass teddy bear or what?
Well, here's the deal. $600,000 of that was actually sewn inside of a giant teddy bear. $600,000.
It's like a Build-A-Bear bear or like something life-size.
I would have to assume somewhere in the middle because $600,000. It's a good block.
What's the largest denomination of bill there is? Is it 100?
I think there are thousands, but I don't think many people have them.
I don't think there are $1,000 bills.
I thought they used to have them.
They used to.
Okay.
I think they used to have $10,000 bills.
Oh, is that right?
I think so.
So just hundreds now?
But I think hundreds is as
right.
high
That's
as
a
they
lot
go.
of hundreds.
There's a lot of hundreds. That is $6,100 bills.
Is it?
Carry the
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is. Did the math in my head. Look at that. Fast math. But yes, that is quite the chunk of money.
Yeah, they only go up to hundreds. They used to have 500s, $1,000, $5,000 bills, and $10,000 bills.
Yeah, it'd be silly.
Yeah, they're still legal tender and may still be in circulation, but they don't make them anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, all I know is $750,000 is a whole bunch of rub and tugs. I mean, that is so many.
Oh, those poor women.
That is so many.
Good night.
That is $750,000 worth of rub and tugs is definitely carpal tunnel syndrome, without a doubt. 100%.
And that was all just from Bob Kraft.
Right. The manager was 47-year-old Daniela Deleno. She was charged with first-degree money laundering, second-degree promoting organized street crime, third-degree promoting prostitution, and fourth-degree maintaining a house of prostitution. What? That's what I want to be charged with, maintaining a house of prostitution. What a great charge. You were maintaining a house of prostitution. 4 other women between the ages of 26 and 45 were also charged with prostitution.
I like to think of her in an old-time saloon.
Right.
You know?
If you are charged with maintaining a house of prostitution, I feel like someone is flipping you like a silver doubloon. Yeah. Bing! Get to work.
I suppose she knows Kyle Snyder. Oh, is that too soon?
Doing a lot of smoking.
Yeah.
Calling people sweetheart.
Yeah, I picture like a ruffled nightie, with got the ruffles around it. You know what I'm talking about? At the bottom there.
I'm already picturing it. Yes, absolutely. You're so right.
Yeah.
We got on the bloomers.
The bloomers, yeah.
The can girls.
Yeah.
Get out there and dance around a little bit.
Before the rug and tub, he's got to drop his 2 6-shooters down to the ground.
Can girls.
Yeah, the can girls.
Yeah. Just do a sarsaparilla shot.
I'm
ready to go.
I'm picturing what's his name? Yosemite Sam coming in there.
Yeah.
Rootinest, tootinest. That's the rootinest, tootinest rub and tug I've ever got.
No. Who was it? Was it Daffy Duck? He goes, "Oh, deputy,
Yeah.
deputy."
That's the sound that I make that plays after I'm done at the rub and tug. That's how I walk out. Just kicking my heels up. Anyways.
Is this a cash-only establishment, I'm assuming?
No, you can trade your beaver pelt.
Is that right?
Yep. Not only did they find the $750,000 worth of cash, they also found 17 wampum.
Whoa, wampum?
Wampum.
I don't even know what that is.
Very
That's how you used to pay for things.
Yeah.
That's how you used to pay. Yeah. Your beaver pelt. I got 7 beaver pelt for you maintaining a house of prostitution. All right, moving along. Second story is a WTF. What the Florida? We make our way down to Tampa. Did you know that back in the 70s, there was an architect, a Finnish architect by the name of Matti Saarinen, and he was...
a lot of J's in that.
Yeah, a lot of J's, a lot of N's.
Okay.
He was hired to build the house of the future, and basically what he did was he took what he thought an alien spaceship would look like, kind of like a oblong top of a water tower.
Okay.
So it's not quite circular, it's more stretched out, but that's what it's shaped like. And then he built some stairs and some rooms below it, and it kind of this oblong
like a dome.
Water tower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of sat on top looking like an alien ship painted green. Well, the House of the Future never really took off because this was right after the time of landing on the moon and all that kind of stuff. Well, it has since been purchased and turned into a strip club. 2001 Odyssey Nude is what it's called. And sure enough, you're walking into a spaceship. The stripper pole is right in the middle of the room. It's almost like, what was that ride at the state? The Gravitron where you stuck to the wall?
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like that. And remember how the DJ would sit in the center?
Yeah.
That's where the stripper pole is. So basically you're sitting around this alien spaceship, and it's alien themed. So you've got like the green alien man, the gray alien man looking over your shoulder while you're getting a lap dance.
Whoa.
Which has got to be really, really weird. Super strange. So if you want to visit, you can go visit the Space Odyssey, 2001 Odyssey Nude in Tampa Bay.
Girls are dancing to Rob Zombie's Everybody's Effing in a UFO.
Yes, that's exactly it. That is your not-so-breaking news, 99.7 The Blitz. There will come a time in the somewhat near future where Sonic Temple 2025 is kind of behind us. But, it's still fairly fresh in our minds, and we're still kind of rehashing stories and things that happened. One of the big things that if you jumped on social media, you may have seen Kelly Quinn crowd surfing for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
It was great.
It is also, very well known. I talked about it for a while, that my favorite rock band of all time, Linkin Park, was going to be performing. We found out that I was going to get a chance to sit down and chat with a couple of them, Mike Shinoda and Colin, the new drummer. And then I crowd surfed for the first time, and did so while holding my phone.
That blew me away.
And got a pretty cool video of being passed around, and threw up the horns during the chorus, and I posted it on social media.
Kelly talked about how calm you were in the video, but were you getting the rush?
Oh, absolutely.
People say it's like a rush like you've never felt.
It was really cool to be just passed along. And so I posted it on social media, including my TikTok page. And I was never much of a social media person, but one thing I did learn is if you want some more views, you got to include hashtags so it goes to different places.
Yeah.
So I hashtagged Sonic Temple, and I hashtagged Sonic Temple Festival, and I hashtagged crowd surfing, and I hashtagged Linkin Park. And Kelly, I want to show you something, because this morning at about 5 o'clock, as we're preparing for the show, Thick and I are in the studio, and all of a sudden, the only thing Thick hears is... And I kind of jumped back. And he's like, what? In his high anxiety ways. And I was like, you have to see this. So I got to show you something on my TikTok account.
Uh-oh. Let's see it.
This is so cool.
Lincoln Park live shows added your video to favorites.
Lincoln Park added my show, my crowd surf.
Oh, my God.
Nice. That's very cool.
Put a little smile on my face.
I love that.
It got shared over there.
Very nice.
There's actually a lot of people are sharing this video with shared experiences through Lincoln Park and or Sonic Temple and the hashtags.
Yeah.
The hashtag thing works.
Yeah, it does.
It's up to like 2,000 views or something for that crowd surf video. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we've posted a ton of stuff on all our socials at Blitz socials from Sonic Temple all 4 days, and Loudwire was there as well, and they have a huge retrospective on Sonic Temple. I think it's called something like the big things, 6 big things that happen at Sonic Temple. They have a huge article about every single day, and then tons of pictures. So it was cool to go through. I was like trying to see if I recognized anyone because they have crowd shots, they have crowd surfers, which they missed our crowd surfing. I don't know how that happened. They were the two.
They missed the best ones.
Yeah, best ones. But anyway, it's kind of cool now that we're all rested up to sort of sort of look back at it, because I kind of feel a little bit of a. You know how you have that, like, letdown after a giant event?
Oh, it's like the day after Christmas.
Yeah. There's, like, that little bit of a letdown, concert letdown. And so it's been really fun to go back over this, like, these Livewire pictures and articles, all the Blitz pictures.
I was asking Thick on Saturday. We were hanging out on top of the boombox, and I was like, who are the headliners the past 2 years? And you kind of ran through some of them. And it got me thinking, with as many bands as they have, as many stages as they have, for all the big names that have come through in the past 3 years, like, what's going to happen in 2026?
I know.
Who are they going to be bringing in 2026? It's going to be crazy. I can't wait.
Last year, they started announcing pretty early, didn't they?
Yeah, you know who I'm hoping for? Without a storm, hopefully.
Oh, yeah. Who?
Bring Me the Horizon.
Bring Me the Horizon.
Oh, okay.
Just cannot see that band.
I hope they bring Foo Fighters back, because that's the one other band I haven't seen that I'm dying to see.
I don't know if you're ever going to see Foo Fighters again.
Why?
Oh, yeah. He'll get out there again.
They haven't played since Dave Grohl's Love Child came to light.
Yeah, no, that'll pass over.
Oh, okay.
That'll definitely pass over for sure. Hey, I wanted to talk about this real quick because I thought that was kind of interesting for all the ladies out there. 800-821-9970 or 99700. I saw this article and I want to see, Kelly, I want you to write it down. I want you to say it in case you get it right. But I want guesses right now, 800-821-9970 or 99700. In this article, they talked about 3 little words. And these are the 3 words that a man can say and a woman will desire him more. Now, this would probably be someone who is in the beginning of a relationship. It's not like some stranger coming up to you, I don't think. But this is something your significant other could say that would make you desire them more. 3 words. I want you to write down what you think it is, Kelly. 3 words, and it's not I love you. I'll tell you that right now.
Well.
It's not I love you.
Okay.
800-821-9970 or 99700. Thick, why don't you take a guess, too? But don't say it out loud. Grab your pen and paper and write down these 3 words are the 3 words a man can say, and it will increase a woman's desire for him. And if you've got a guess, shoot us a text right now. I want to see. Kelly, did you write it down?
I did.
All right, let me see what you wrote. I want to see if you got this right or not.
I hope you can read my...
Oh, okay. Not quite. That ain't it.
All right.
So my guess is based on something Kelly said to us last week.
Okay. Thick?
Yeah.
You got it right.
Oh, let me see.
I did?
You got it right.
You said... Anybody says that's a great thing, right, Kelly? Remember when you said that last week? And I said it to you at Sonic Temple one day.
Yeah.
And my son said it to Brendan when he was taking him to the mosh pit.
Okay. Yep.
I mean, there was no intimacy involved in the exchange of those 3 words.
But you said
you did. Yeah. It is. Yeah. They're 3 greatest words you can hear from someone. Absolutely. I love this.
Denise said, let me pay. That is not it. Amanda said, I appreciate you. That is not it. Alex said, I have money. That is not it either.
But they all work.
They all do all work, yes.
Joel says, I am loaded. Christine, you're always right.
Okay, yeah. No, that ain't it. Let's see. 9729. I can cook.
Oh, I like that. Matt says, I brought tacos.
That's
a good one.
That's a very good one. That is a very good one. Nope, not quite. The 3-word. Let's see if any more texts are rolling through before I. You're the best, Lindsay. That is not correct. Zach, I will tell you, you got it right. Terry, I want you. Not quite. 1473. I got money. Nope, that ain't it. Brandon, I brought dinner. Again, close, but not
need
quite.
You.
No,
that was Danny.
The 3 words that you can say for him, that a man can say for a woman to desire him more is, I got you. Or, I got this.
I got this.
Yeah, I got this. And
yes. It's so good.
I got this.
I'll tell you what. I never want to sound like conceited, but I have had the conversation with Nora, and I actually have said this in the past to exes. I don't want to say what I bring to the table. I know I can cook. I bring that to the table. But one thing I know I bring to the table is I got this. I can handle high-pressure situations. So I got you. Yeah. And Nora has said, I love that about you. That no matter what the situation, we're going to be okay.
It's so good.
Because I'll take care of it.
So good.
So, fellas, make sure you're on top of it. You want to feel desired by your woman? All you got to do, let her know, I got you. And everything's going to be all right. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
It's the Morning Blitz.
Coming up next, the 3 things you need to know.
Did you guys see that somebody dumped up to 40 gallons of motor oil into like a storm drain, and now it's like completely ruined Quarry Trails Metro Park?
No!
Like the waterways? I mean, they have to do a massive cleanup here. You cannot swim there. You cannot fish there.
Right over here?
Right over here.
In Hilliard?
No, it's right on
right
Trade.
here.
It's on Tradeview Road between Riverside and Old Dublin Road here. Like, you go up here, turn left. It's on the right hand side there.
I mean, honestly,
it's brand new.
Yeah,
pretty much 2 years it's been there.
Yeah,
40 gallons?
Yeah, it's it reached the falls there. It reached the Scioto River. Yeah, I don't know who's doing this, but let's talk about it coming up next.
Traffic Blitz.
All right, there's an accident 70 East at 33 on the east side. We have an accident Post Road westbound at 33. Traffic sponsored by Ohio Basement Authority. Is water damaging your home? Contact Ohio Basement Authority, the basement concrete foundation experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at ohiobasementauthority.com. That's traffic on the Blitz.
Lanny went to college and racked.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
Crews at Quarry Trails Metro Park are working to contain and clean up an oil spill that was discovered over the weekend. Signs posted throughout the park warn visitors to stay out of the water and to avoid fishing until further notice as the environmental impact is assessed. Investigators believe 20 to 40 gallons of motor oil were dumped into a nearby storm drain, and that oil flowed through the stormwater system, eventually reaching Milliken Falls and parts of the Scioto River. There is no timeline yet for when the cleanup will be complete. How do you have, unless you're maybe a business, 40 gallons of used motor oil?
And how did nobody see you? I mean, is it that far hidden?
That's got to be somebody with like some private garage where they've been doing oil changes and crap, and they just
maybe
that's got to be what it is, right?
It is a crime to dump motor oil into storm drains or waterways or on the ground. You're not allowed to do that.
Man,
there are recycling centers and auto shops. They do charge a nominal fee, but you can drop them off there. I know it's a pain. Like we were talking about before, like how do you recycle or pitch batteries? You're supposed to.
Well, yeah, but it can't be that much of an inconvenience. You got it to the quarry, so you could have gotten it to a dealership or something.
In a storm, you said it was. He dumped it in a storm drain.
You can't do any of that. You can't. A storm drain,
and it overflowed into. Into the quarry. You know, that place is gorgeous.
It doesn't get filtered. When it's in a storm drain, it just goes out into the waterways.
Right.
That's what happens.
I drove around that quarry for years, going home from here. I drive around it every single day around the corner of it, and I have wanted to fish that thing forever, and then they finally made this Metro Park out of it and opened it up for fishing and kayaking and then last year I finally figured out, because it's different than most of the lakes I fish, and I finally figured out how to catch bass there, and there were also huge striped bass in that thing that I was catching. And in this, it's just...
Yeah, that's why we can't have nice things.
That's why we can't... Yes, thank you.
That's
I was trying to get the word.
That would be the nice...
Damn it! I'm mad!
Well, after 35 years behind bars for murdering their parents, Eric and Lyle Menendez now have a shot at freedom. A Los Angeles Superior Court judge has reduced the brothers' sentences from life without parole to 50 years to life. Now, the next step is for the brothers' attorneys, to prove that the two have been rehabilitated in prison and deserve a lesser sentence, which would then make them eligible for parole under California's youthful offender law because they committed the murders under the age of 26. Then they'll need approval from the California State Parole Board, and that could mean they potentially go free on time served. This is crazy, guys. Actors, Alison Brie, that actress, Alison Brie, from Community, I think, and a bunch of other things, and Dave Franco, who is her husband, they have been hit with a copyright infringement suit over their movie. It's an independent horror movie called Together.
It's been getting a lot of hype online.
Right. So it sold for $17 million after a bidding war at Sundance. Somebody bought it for $17 million. A lawsuit was filed yesterday basically saying, hey, this is a blatant ripoff of our movie that we made in 2023, an independent film called Better Half. In fact, we shopped this movie Better Half to Alison Brie and Dave Franco in 2020, and they passed on it. But basically, the suit claims the entire concept of their movie was stolen. And the concept is this couple has a one-night stand, and then they find themselves the next morning physically fused together.
Oh, this was a movie with the eyeballs to each other. That were freaking you out?
Poster. Yeah, where their eyelashes were touching.
So, these people who made the first film, Better Half, say there are numerous other plot points and thematic elements that are stolen, including near verbatim references in the Alison Brie movie versus their movie that they made in 2023.
The only problem I have with that is, if that's the case, then the people from Armageddon should have sued the people from Deep Impact, and the people from Olympus Has Fallen should have sued the people from White House Down, and it happens all the time.
Yeah, but you shop your movie to people who are connected in Hollywood. They pass on it and then create a film that has the exact concept of your movie?
Yeah. So when Armageddon was getting shopped around, they're like, we're going to make this movie. Rumors start flying around Hollywood. Did you hear about the script? You hear about the script? And another studio head is like, crap, we got to get on one of these movies too. And then they hire writers and they give them the concept.
But
and
it's
then the writers
so
write.
specific. A one-night stand and their bodies are fused together. How do you make a case that may be a common concept to make a movie on?
Terrorists taking over the White House happens all the time.
Right. Okay.
I
don't know.
I hear what you're saying.
I know. I
mean,
totally, yes. You can't just blatantly rip off someone's idea, but it's Hollywood. Are there any original ideas?
Well, that one seems to be. I mean, it is intellectual property.
It's true.
I don't see a lot of I've never seen a movie where a couple has a one-night stand and ends up fused together.
No.
I've never seen that theme in a movie. So I don't know. It just, I'm sure they'll fight it out in court and we'll see what happens.
Well, and that's the problem is you've got people like Dave Franco and Alison Brie who have more money than these independent film writers. And
that's right.
Dude, her eyelid is touching his eyeball.
All right, stop.
His eyeball. The eyelid is touching the eyeball. So they're stuck face to face like that?
No, I'm sure that's just the movie poster. How are you going to have a movie with two people with their eyeballs stuck together?
That's a great shot. Well, I just thought they were that close to each other.
Which, by the way, F you, the movie Stuck on You or Stuck with You with Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear. the Farrelly Brothers
together?
movie. Yeah, they're Siamese twins that are stuck together and they fall in love and move to Hollywood.
Okay, there
have been stuck together movies.
You need to get on the attorney team for Alison Brie. Get on that team.
Hire me.
You're already making a case.
That's right.
All right, those are your three things.
All right. This story is so strange. It comes out of Richmond, California, where a neighborhood is a little freaked out right now, and rightfully they should be. Take a listen to this news story.
It's a mystery. I think that's how we all feel, is it's inexplicable.
If what's happening along Bernhardt Avenue in Richmond is a mystery, then these are the neighborhood detectives.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Residents say what has been happening high along this power line since February just isn't adding up.
Sounded like a firecracker, and a black, I think it was a starling, just plummeted to the ground.
They say there have been more than 50 instances of birds dying along this top power line. Video from a nearby Ring camera shows the moment it happens. Listen for the loud crack. A bird then falls to the ground.
Aww.
Now, here's the thing. You hear this story, and you're thinking, okay, so these birds are coming in, they're landing on the power line, and there's like some sort of short, maybe there's, I don't know, a rip in the protective layering. I don't know how power lines are made, but the bird gets shocked and it dies, and it falls to the ground. But that's not the case, because in the video, the bird is flying above the power line. And as it flies, the video, it's got to be 10 or 15 feet above the power line. And then as it crosses over the power line, and then it falls to the ground.
So there's power shooting up into the air. Like it's not grounded or whatever.
Yes.
I don't know how grounding works, but that sounds like it's not grounded.
I am no electrician, but if your bird 15 feet above the power line and all of a sudden you explode and drop dead, something ain't right. Now, here's the thing. The neighbors have said they've seen arcs coming from that power line before. So, yeah, some sort of short, some sort of something. But to say, the PG, well, here's the other thing.
Yeah.
PG&E is the power company out there. If that doesn't sound familiar to you, that's the Aaron Brockovich story.
Oh.
This company doesn't have the best track record when it comes to, like, public safety and public health. So there's a bit of an issue there. And they're like, oh, it's probably someone with like a slingshot or a BB gun killing the birds.
Okay, I've got a pellet rifle with a scope on it, and it's hard enough to hit a bullseye target from a distance that's sitting still. A moving bird up in the air with a BB gun? Come on, man. That's next to impossible.
That's sniper-like.
Yeah.
That's Army Ranger sniper school.
And snipers don't even shoot flying targets.
PG&E has been blamed for over 30 wildfires since 2017.
Not surprised.
Yeah, they have trouble with their power lines.
I would have a very big issue if birds are exploding while flying over the power line that sits right next to my house.
Fix this.
Yeah. Aaron Brockovich, ring, ring, mother... 99.7 The Blitz. Well, it's another week and another opportunity for us to talk AI, as we have done multiple times on this show, because it seems like every week something else is coming out, or there's new information, or they're using AI for something new. And I'd be very curious. 800-821-9970. If you've been through this before, because there's a TikToker who just posted a video, and he got an interview for his dream job. He doesn't say exactly what his dream job was, but he goes, finally, after applying, I got this interview with a well-branded or well-known brand, and I am super excited. And as a lot of first interviews go now, they sent him a link for a video chat instead of coming in. I don't know if the job was remote or if he wasn't in the same state as the headquarters. Who knows? But he was told to go to this link, and we'll do the first interview on chat. Take a listen to what happened.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you so much for joining the interview today. I am so excited to talk to you and get to know more about you.
So right off the bat, it's already...
Yeah, you know what you're dealing with. Sounding
a little funny.
Yep.
And you can see in the video that he made his face, it only takes a few seconds for him to go, wait a minute, something's not right. Sounds a little weird.
There's just a picture of the girl.
Yes, there's no other video, right. It's like her camera's off and her profile picture is up there. Keep going.
And get to know more about you. For our first question, let's circle back. Tell me about a time when. Let's circle back. Tell me about a time when. Let's circle back. Tell me about a time when. Let's.
I think the internet's breaking up or something.
Tell me about a time when. Let's circle back. Tell me about a time when. Let's. Let's circle back. Tell me about a time when. Let's circle back. Tell me about a time.
I don't even know what to do.
Let's. About a time when. Let's.
It just keeps going.
Our interview. Thank you so much for answering the questions. I got a lot of great information about you.
I didn't get to answer a question.
And it was really nice to meet you. We will be sending you a follow-up email here shortly about the interview and the next steps.
And then did you see his follow-up video?
Yes.
About the interview, like he got the email?
And then he gets an email that says, hi, Henry. which, by the way, is not his
Not
name.
his name.
Followed by it was a pleasure meeting you yesterday and learning about your background, goals, and, in quotes, passion for storytelling.
Wow.
They didn't even say anything in the interview. The email said he had wonderful energy, but then the email ended, letting him know, unfortunately, they decided he wasn't quite a right fit for the position.
Wow.
But they would keep his application on file. Excuse me?
Do you call a lawyer? I mean, is there anything there?
Oh, that's a good question.
I wouldn't call a lawyer.
Well, I mean,
what are you going to call a lawyer
You just got
about?
turned down. You just got told you're passionate storytelling, and then you got turned down for the job by you didn't even get an interview.
I mean, I'm not. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you're right. What is the legal precedent? I don't know.
I'd call the company and say, hey, there's a huge mistake. I really appreciate the opportunity to interview with someone, maybe a human, because your AI bot screwed up, and I've got a record of it.
There's got to be a follow-up
Please watch
email.
this
Yeah.
and let me interview with a human.
It's just what I'm thinking in my mind is I just spent my time doing this. I didn't have an interview. I didn't answer any questions, and you're telling me that I was a great storyteller, but I don't have a position with your company because I wasn't good enough in the interview.
But
I mean,
there's no legal precedence for wasting someone's time. That's the unfortunate thing. But this AI has got a long way to go before it's going to conduct interviews and set up your future. If this was your dream job,
right?
And even if it wasn't your dream job, let's say you were unemployed and you're just trying to find a job to put food on the table, and the AI generator's screwing up, and then all of a sudden they tell you, sorry, you're just not a right fit for the position, when you didn't even get to answer any questions to find out if you were right for the position. That's just wrong.
Yeah.
Companies got to do better. I know technology is here to make things easier. You've freed up your HR manager to do other things, but
I feel like, though, you just got a glimpse into the company.
That
maybe,
too.
yeah,
maybe you don't want to work for the company.
Yeah.
That's a valid point. It's 99.7 The Blitz. How cheap is your significant other? That's what I want to know. Because I found out yesterday, man, we got one cheap SOB in this studio right now.
What did you find out?
Found out that Thick Rick washes his Ziploc bags. What?
Okay, there's a lot more to it than that.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
No, there
it's
isn't.
Only in
that
one
is the
situation.
only thing you need to know.
It's only in one situation.
Doesn't matter. Zero situations is the only acceptable answer. Those are one use. Throw them away.
Not.
Throw them away. What are you doing?
What is the circumstance?
Okay, so I like veggies with like fresh vegetables with like ranch dressing. They have cauliflower, broccoli, cucumber, whatever, bell pepper. And so I'll get a bunch and slice it all up, and I'll put each kind in a Ziploc bag. And then when it's gone and I get more, I just rinse that bag out and put more in. And I'll do that 2 or 3 times, and then I'll throw them away.
3 times? Man.
Yeah. What am I doing? What is it hurting?
Okay, now it is a little better than what I was imagining, like you were washing out egg salad or something.
Oh, God, no. No, it's just fresh vegetables.
Yeah, and you've already washed them, so they're clean in there.
And
I don't
I'm
hate
putting
it.
the exact same thing in them again, and I only do that, like I said, 2 or 3 times.
Now, I'm lazy, so I just pitch everything and start over. And I know it's going to sit in a landfill for 790 years before it starts to disintegrate. So I do try to think about that stuff, but when it comes to like those plastic sandwich bags, I just toss them.
Of course. As you should, Kelly. There is nothing wrong with that. 800-821-9970. Who's got a cheap significant other out there?
But here's the thing.
Reuses, rewashes.
How about like a paper towel? Because I buy those really bougie paper towels, like with the signature cloth, the Viva signature cloth. They're so good. But, I mean, I don't wash those out and hang them up to dry. They just go in the trash.
I used to get so mad at my mom because my mom did that a lot.
She did?
Yeah. You'd walk in the kitchen, there'd be like 2 sheets of paper towel hanging over the faucet.
For real?
Oh, just to dry out.
So
she lived through hard times, though. That's why she does that, I'm sure. Did she? I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I feel like that's a signal of somebody
she was born in 37.
Okay.
But we were very poor growing up.
Yeah. She's conserving. That's it's a sign of a life that's needed to conserve.
What does your significant other do that's really cheap or frugal? I can't. Chris, wash styrofoam plates. No.
Nope.
No.
Now, Cassandra said they make those reusable storage bags. They're meant to be washed out and reused.
Nope, they sure aren't.
Dishwasher safe reusable bags. I don't know if I've ever seen that. So you're supposed to throw it in a dishwasher? The bag?
There's no way that bag would stand. There's no way the bag would stay in place.
No, I just rinse it out with cold water.
Yeah.
Mary wants to know, Thick Rick, why don't you use storage bowls instead?
Yeah, Tupperware.
And just throw those in the dishwasher? I guess you could do that.
That would be better, wouldn't it?
But though, what's the difference, honestly? I mean,
I know they're still cheap plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not as cheap, and they're made to storage contain and wash, and they are dishwasher and microwave safe. A Ziploc baggie?
It's like a one-use deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Costco, and I'm going to get you the most industrial size of each different volume of bag. So you've got a bunch, Thick.
Now, Chris says, Rick, you need to buy some Stashers. They are silicone, reusable Ziploc baggies. You use them over and over again. We use them in my house.
Stashers. All right, I want to know.
Thick Rick's not looking for suggestions. He's fine with his own method. but I understand. Yeah.
But here's the thing. You said who's got the cheapest significant other.
Right.
And I'll tell you right now, when it comes to my wife, there is no limit. What I will do for her, whatever she wants. I don't care.
Okay, right.
And I was not good, like Kelly, before I met my wife, I was not good with money. I if there was money in my pocket, I wanted to spend it. Always. And so my wife actually cured me of that. And I'm a great tipper.
Okay.
Are you trying to balance out the fact that
I'm telling you, I'm not cheap.
No, great tipping is what should be done.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. That
but I go above.
That doesn't fall into cheap or not cheap.
Really?
Yeah, that does. I think you're trying to get redemption for doing something as asinine as washing out Ziploc bags, and those are not on the same level.
Way to judge me, man. Way to shame me.
I feel like you're at the kitchen sink and you're like scrubbing out the bags, and then you've got your underwear and you're scrubbing that.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm picturing.
I use a spray. I spray it out with cold water, dump it out. That's it.
With your underwear?
No,
just kidding.
I was really taken aback when I went to Thick's place for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And sitting right by the toilet was the container to put your toilet paper in so he could wash it and then reuse the toilet paper.
God. Now that's disgusting.
Lisa says my mother-in-law saved bread bags and used those for storage and freezer bags. No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Carrie used to rehash plastic silverware. No!
You know, my mom has a weird habit of saving, and I throw it out. When I find it, I just pitch it, the plastic forks and spoons.
You mean that have already been used?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they get washed in the dishwasher for some reason.
No.
And she doesn't use them ever, so I think I'm finding old ones from years past. I'm like, why are these still hanging around?
I don't wash used plastic forks and knives.
No.
Like, I would never, even as poor as we were, which was pretty dirt poor, we would still go buy, like, the 3-pack of Tupperware bowls, but, like, people who use, like, the country crock containers, like, wash those out and stuff.
You were too fancy for that.
Too fancy for that.
Gotcha.
Well, actually, we didn't use country crock, so that's why we didn't have any containers. But, yeah, I just can't imagine. All right, 800-821-9970. I want to hear from you, or 99700. You got a cheap family member or a cheap significant other? How far would they go to save some money? 997 The Blitz. All right, who's got that cheap significant other out there? If you've got someone who pinches the pennies, I want to know about it. 800-821-9970.
You were talking about how Thick Rick kind of washes out the plastic bags that he
Ziploc bags.
His raw veggies in, washes them out and reuses them.
That is straight psycho. I mean, I'm actually scared to come to work now.
Oh, come on.
That is psychotic.
It is not.
That isn't really, I guess, that bad. Like I said, I was picturing like you're storing like egg salad or tuna salad and then washing it out and putting something else in there. It's not that. Cauliflower. All right. Natasha says, you guys are bashing Thick for reusing Ziploc bags, and you forget this is the same guy who only uses 4 squares of toilet paper. So true.
So is that the trade-off? You say...
No, you're saving both ways.
You're saving both ways?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, I was giving you credit. No, that makes you more cheap. I just did the math in my head. That makes you way more cheap.
Elissa says...
then you got poop wrist, and then you're going to clean out your Ziploc bag because you didn't use enough toilet paper. So you get the smear on the inside of your palm of your hand there.
Vicky is really painting a picture. I don't like it. I'm sorry.
I just got to get new friends.
Elissa says, I absolutely wash and reuse plastic cutlery and sour cream, butter, and non-recyclable containers because the guilt of buying products that are so hard to recycle weighs heavily on my mind. Yeah, so she reuses them. I like it. Okay. It's environmentally conscious.
I get it. It's environmentally conscious.
It's what?
That isn't why I do it, though.
I'm cheap on my words. I just don't use the whole word. Environmentally conscious.
Here's why I would do it, and I don't. I'm kind of lazy. I throw stuff out, but I hate it in those Ziploc bag, boxes, and you pull one out and like 50 come out with it. Oh, That ticks me off.
And you got to jam them back in.
Then you can never get them out right again.
Yeah. Again, the epitome of first world problem.
It'd be like thick trying to get into a Fiat. Like you're just trying to just push and put it. It's like trying to put biscuits back in the can. You're just like trying to get them up in there, and it's just not working. I don't know why this turned into a thick bashing session. I don't know what happened there. I apologize.
What did I do? You're not sorry. Don't even try it.
Hey, who's your friend, though? Who's your buddy?
We only roast the ones we love.
That's true. I've said it my whole life. I wouldn't pick on you if I didn't like you.
Right, exactly.
This person says, my mom still reuses tissue paper and wrapping paper. Like the kind of person who unwraps a gift real delicately so you don't rip it.
No,
I never do that, by the way. Just putting it out there, that crap goes in a green trash bag.
But this person is this person's mom, and I guarantee that's a sign that this person's had hard times in their lives. And so you have to reuse. Yes.
Come on. Well, look, I'll say this. I'm up here bitching and moaning, and I am the worst person to talk about this because I am the absolute worst with money. Yeah. So don't listen to a single thing I say.
Keith from Galleon, you guys are mixing up cheap with frugal. Thank you, Keith.
No. Frugal's another word for cheap.
Exactly. Don't try. Don't try. You guys are mixing up dirt with soil. Yeah. No, it's the same thing. Stop it. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
Franklin County deputy shot and killed a dog that attacked his partner while they were trying to catch a suspect yesterday afternoon. Franklin County Sheriff's Office says the incident began about 2 p.m. yesterday. A deputy was trying to conduct a traffic stop, but the driver took off. Deputies chased him to Mock Road and Century Drive on the northeast side, where the suspect bailed out of the car and ran. And deputies say he left the driver's side door open, and a pit bull got out of the vehicle and bit one of the deputies in the face. So the deputy's partner shot and killed the dog. Suspect was arrested and is facing felony charges. The injured deputy was taken to the hospital for treatment. Sean Diddy Combs' ex, Cassie Ventura, will likely testify again today in Combs' sex crimes trial. This whole thing makes me so sick to read the details, I can't even do it. Like, I'm going to be sparse with details because it is absolutely disgusting and heinous, and I cannot wait until Diddy goes to prison for life. This is really gross. But anywho, Ventura yesterday on the stand said Combs forced her to stay awake for days during freak-offs to perform acts with other men. Ventura told jurors that she also suffered physical abuse multiple times from Combs during their 10-year relationship. Good riddance, dude. Rot in frickin' prison.
It does sound like he's in for a...
Yeah, I hope. Many years of prison. That's warranted, I believe. A 15-year-old baseball player from Alabama collapsed on the field and was saved by a stranger who used a medical procedure once joked about on an episode of The Office, where they were learning CPR.
Okay, well, a good trick is to pump to the tune of Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. Do you know that song?
Yes, I do. I love that song. First I was afraid, I was petrified.
No, it's Staying alive.
Okay.
Staying alive.
Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying
What a
alive.
classic episode.
You can't tell by the way I use my walk.
right.
I'm a woman's man.
Oh, it goes on and on. You listen to the whole thing.
Oh, when Dwight puts the mannequin face on his own face.
Cuts off the face and puts it on, yeah.
So good.
Well, the teenager, Evan Tucker, was trying out for a travel baseball team when he went into cardiac arrest while standing on the outfield grass behind second base. Another mom who was with her son ran out onto the field. She's not medically trained whatsoever, but she performed CPR for about 8 minutes. The entire time she was humming Staying Alive until help arrived. She said she remembered that Office episode and thought it's worth a shot, and it worked.
I bet
this kid is
wow.
alive.
She's not the only one.
Yeah.
I mean, I guarantee that has stuck with a lot of people.
I would think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Evan is still in the hospital and recovering, but he's alive thanks to this woman who saw that episode of The Office.
Awesome.
And those are your three things.
Beer is good. Beer is good. Beer is good. It's up. Beer is good. Beer is good. Beer is good. Let's go drink some beer.
Well, if you want to have yourself some beers, how much should you have? There was a guy who did a study off of the masslive.com website. I mean, the Massachusetts Live. And it says, what is the optimal number of beers to drink in one sitting? Think, do you want to take a guess? What is the optimal number of beers to have in one sitting?
Well, it's going to be less for me, but I'm going to say 4. We're talking about just 12-ounce beer?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say 4.
All right. Kelly, what's the optimal amount of beers you should have?
I was going to go one less, 3.
Okay.
3 beers.
Well, according to this person, after this study, the optimal number of beers in one sitting is 2 beers.
2? That's fine for me, yes.
And then, if you want, a glass of water, and then maybe a third beer.
Okay.
So, yeah, basically, Kelly, you're right there.
That's the best way to drink.
Yes.
1 glass of water after the second beer.
And, technically they say a beer an hour. Medically, also, to not too severely affect your blood alcohol level, a beer an hour is the way to go.
What beer are you choosing? If you have to drink beer, what are you choosing?
If I have to drink beer,
Yep.
I'm taking a Blue Moon.
Oh, Blue Moon.
It's the only real beer that I like.
Do you like the...
Unless it's like a night of partying, we're at the lake house, I ran out of Captain, I'll grab like a Bud Light.
Okay.
But it's got to be, I can't do the hops and the Pilsners and the IPAs.
Yeah, I like a pale lager. If I'm going to go, it's got to be something light for sure. I can't go that dark route.
No,
Ugh.
can't do it. But I'm not a beer drinker. I know there are, I remember when we were still doing the tour to the temple and I was at Happenstance Brewing for one of our stops and talking to those guys over there and how amazing they were. But the science behind the beer.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And Brewmeisters.
Yeah.
What are they called? Brewsters.
Brewmeisters. I thought they were Brewmeisters.
Brewmeisters?
Isn't that what they are?
Brewmaster.
Brewmasters. Yes.
Brewmeister. What are we in Germany? Brewmeister.
Brewmeister sounds like a villain in a cartoon.
Yeah.
Or like
Heat
miser.
No.
Yes, that's
the Burgermeister Burger. Come on.
So, but I like the Blue Moon too.
Yeah.
And damn it, make sure you have an orange slice for me.
Gotta have an orange slice with it.
What about a Stella Artois?
No, I do not want a Stella Artois.
Is it just because it has a girl's name?
No, it's just. I guess I could choke it down. It's nothing more than a little bit harder than a Bud Light.
Right.
It's not
No,
it's
pale,
not an IPA
it's
or
pale.
Yeah. Doesn't have all the hops and
What about you, Thick? If you had to drink a beer?
Blue Moon.
Oh, you said Blue Moon?
Yeah.
Did I just
You
skip
did.
over the ding, 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 ding?
I used to like that Bud Dry.
Bud Dry?
Yeah, I used to like that a lot.
What about a Michelob Ultra?
I was
That's
just
good.
about to say I also like Michelob
Yeah.
Ultra. Yeah.
I did have one Guinness in my life outside of an Irish car bomb, but I had one Guinness, but I got it at the first Guinness tap ever in Ireland, like the original Guinness tap.
Oh, you have to do that.
And Guinness in Ireland is way different than Guinness here. Guinness over there is like chocolate milk. It's so good. But I was one and I was done. That's all I can handle.
Made you want to buy a kilt, though, didn't it?
You kind of did. A little bit. Although, isn't that Scottish?
Oh.
Yeah, good try, though. 997 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, first story comes out of Australia, over in the Melbourne area, where there's a police station, the Collingwood Police Station. And apparently, it's a smaller station, so a lot of the times it's unstaffed. And that's when the police got a call from another station because a man reportedly broke into a police car sitting in front of the police station and then broke into the police station itself after smashing a window and crawling inside. You're not supposed to do that. He refused to listen to the responding officers while roaming around the police station, so he was abruptly tased and doused with tear gas. They made sure they did the job. He was deemed not fit to be interviewed, and the case is pending in further investigation. So,
Too wasted.
Yeah, they're holding on to him. Too wasted. Is he honestly crazy?
I don't know, but let me tell you something. I want to look around a police station. That sounds amazing to me. And if I could do it alone, even better. Like, I want to snoop. I want to snoop in a police station.
But I think as long as it's a cool police station, like, I have a feeling it would be very underwhelming.
See, I need unsecured files. I need access.
Oh, so it's not about the police station. You just want the dirt.
I want access. I want the neighborhood dirt. Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. It has nothing to do with the police station.
But I can't be drunk. I need to be of sound mind when I break in.
So you can
so I remember
all the files that you see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if I go, I wouldn't mind snooping, but I want the different departments. Like here's homicide and here's forensics.
Yeah, you want with a little jail in it too.
Yeah,
don't
and
you?
definitely a little jail. Definitely a little jail for sure. I want to visit the holding cells.
Yes.
And like nana boo boo, the people inside, they can't do anything about it. Yeah, for sure. Second story takes us down to Atlanta, Georgia, where a new law will legalize human composting. Governor Brian Kemp signed a bill this week that will allow funeral homes to make human composting facilities. The CEO of the Washington-based company Recompost told Atlanta News First that the option allows people the choice to return to Earth when they die. More than a dozen other states have actually legalized human composting. I was going to say, I thought this was a thing. I thought there are people that get cremated and put into soil and are replanted as trees. They're mixed into like the seeds and stuff.
Yeah, but are these people being what they're talking about? That's not cremation, right?
That's like laying a body in the
ground with no casket or anything, right?
Just letting it completely be buried.
Would you just throw it naked in a hole? Is that what we're doing?
I guess.
But I didn't know there were states doing this already.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
A dozen other states have legalized human composting.
It reminds me of the old horror movie Motel Hell.
I don't remember Motel Hell.
You probably that's one like 70s.
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
It's a B horror movie.
Oh yeah, then most certainly not. But I mean, I don't know, to make it legal. Why would you have to make it legal? It seems like that should be the way to go. I don't understand spending $5,000 or $10,000 on a coffin for me to lay in when I'm dead for the rest of eternity.
It's a racket.
The thing is, though, is the coffin, doesn't it ostensibly protect you from being eaten by bugs and worms and stuff like that?
As you should be.
But I don't know if
you're
it
going to
really
turn to
does.
a skeleton anyways. What does it matter?
It does matter.
Why?
It matters to me as I'm alive thinking about it because it's disgusting.
But you're not going to know.
You're going to leave that vessel.
I know now.
You're going to leave that vessel anyway.
Yeah, I know.
You're not going to be inside your meat suit for very long. Like it's going to go like.
She doesn't
I
can't
like bear it. No, either cremate me or put me in an airtight coffin. I don't want to be thrown naked into some dirt.
You don't want to be a straight worm poop?
No.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Like, I mean,
why? You don't understand why?
No.
You don't?
Not at all.
All right. I guess I'm
You're going to
one.
spend all this money, not only the thousands and thousands, depending on what casket you get, but then the plot. You have to buy the plot. They're charging you money for ground because it's
enclosed
in a fence.
Yeah. I mean, what, you're just allowed to throw your loved one in the backyard? Is
You
that what
should. Yeah, why not?
I mean, is that what the law is? The new...
Oh, no, those are for funeral homes to do it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so funeral homes will basically have their own cemeteries.
We haven't gotten to that point yet. Where you
cemeteries without caskets is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the big deal is. I don't know.
It feels like a biohazard, man.
Why? We decompose.
What about the gases?
The biohazard is Thick throwing away his plastic bags after 3 uses. That's the biohazard.
Okay.
But, I mean, you've seen Poltergeist, right?
Yeah.
You only moved the headstones, but you didn't move the bodies.
Oh, is that a rule?
That's why there was a poltergeist. That's why they were upset. They built houses on top of the dead bodies.
Unless, Kelly, you're scared of, like, Pet Cemetery and you bury someone without a coffin and then they come back.
I mean, that is a consideration. But I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know.
Kelly,
but thank you for the trifecta of movie references in one break. I love it.
I kind of feel like Kelly just thinks, like, she's more important than that, than just letting her body go in the ground.
No, I don't feel like I'm more important than that. I feel like as a living person, I can't even bear the thought of somebody's body getting eaten by worms. And like your eyes. Like having, like, you know, the horror movies where there are bugs crawling on people's faces and their eyes. That makes me sick.
I agree. That would freak me the hell out.
Yeah.
The good news is,
You're dead.
I'll be dead.
Right.
It won't matter.
But are we sure nothing can get in the caskets?
Well, apparently we got a text message that said caskets aren't airtight because the human body would explode. Like the pressure would continue to build and you would expand.
Really?
So the maggots and the bugs
They
and the
still get
worms,
in.
they're all getting in there anyway.
Yep.
So what difference does it make?
Oh, Kelly, you're going to have maggots right in the ear hole.
No, I'm getting cremated.
they
I just
are-
made my final decision.
They are burrowing. That worm is going to wiggle its way up your nostril
No.
all the way.
This can't happen to my body.
And most people kind of die with their mouth open.
Like if I wouldn't do it to my loved ones, I'm not doing it to having it done to myself. And I would never toss my loved one's body in a pile of dirt. I wouldn't do it. Nope.
To save $10,000?
Cremation's cheap enough.
Oh, come on. I'm going to put them halfway in and then kind of weekend at Bernie's them so they're doing a little dig inside the coffin.
That's
or inside the
Motel
hole.
Hell. He buried them standing up to the neck, and then he cut their vocal cords and put bags over their heads, and then it was like whatever he was doing to get the meat ready to eat.
That was not even remotely close to anything I just said.
I thought you just said you were going to bury him part of them out.
Yeah, but then I said tie him up like a marionette like Weekend at Bernie's and make him dance. I said make them dance. I didn't say anything about burying them with cutting out their vocal cords and preparing the meat. How the hell did you make that line?
It's just in my
From
head.
From one to the
whole
other.
Story's got Motel Hell in my head.
Wow. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
It takes all kinds of critters to make Farmer Vincent fritters.
All right, time for a Blitz Therapy brought to you by Tri-State Men's Health. We've got a Blitz Nation member who is looking for a little assistance, and kind of interesting because, tell you what, I have lived this. I have been through this before. Says, hey, radio best friends, this sucks up one side and down the other. That's a great description,
isn't it?
When something sucks up one side and down the other.
Yes.
I've been dating my boyfriend for almost 2 years. We've built something so great together, and now this happens. I just got offered this amazing job, truly a dream position, but it's in Indianapolis, the kind of opportunity I've worked for years to get. My dude is very rooted here. He loves his job. His family's here. He's made it clear that moving isn't something he's willing to do. Wants me to turn the job down, but this feels like my shot. But I also don't want to throw away a relationship that means so much to me. Has anyone out there been through this? Can you really have both love and a career? Does one always have to give in? Emma and Gehanna.
Damn.
And let me tell you, Emma, yes, there are people out there who have been through this. I am one of them. Without a doubt, this radio career has bounced me around quite a bit, and twice it has ended relationships.
No kidding.
Yep. Yeah, when I was married, and the discussion of the condition of my future when I was in Colorado Springs, that wasn't the last stop I wanted to make. I had other career goals to reach, and then that career goal was realized, and I was offered a job up in Denver, which is only an hour north of Colorado Springs. But my wife at the time said, yeah, I can't move. And I was like, wait a minute. We talked about this. We talked about my kind of goals. And it's not like I'm saying, hey, can we move to Orlando. I'm asking you to move an hour up the street. Could I have commuted? Probably. But it was about the fact that we had already talked about this and all of a sudden changed your mind. Like, that's not cool. And then another time, very much like you, Emma, I had an ex who was very stable in her small town up in Michigan. And that was not where I was going to live the rest of my life. And unfortunately, that's just kind of what happened. Now, I'm so thankful that I'm now with the person. Nora has no problem moving to Columbus.
Oh, she was ready to quit her job.
Yeah, her and the boys are, and she was going to. Thankfully,
I know.
Thankfully, her boss loves her so much. Her boss literally said, "No, you're working remote." Her boss wouldn't let her quit, which is amazing. But she was willing to. She was going to take her skills and bring them down to like Nationwide or one of the medical offices down here because that's her background. But both her and the boys, because I was very concerned when this process continued about the 16-year-old and the 13-year-old. Because I moved when I was 16. I moved in between sophomore year and junior year of high school, which is exactly where the 16-year-old is moving now.
Yeah.
He's ending his sophomore year right now. He's going to start junior year at Hilliard. And I was very concerned. But no, they're both all about it. So I consider myself super lucky. No issue, no drama. Because that conversation came up between Nora and I. It's like, this is an amazing opportunity for me. It will support our family. The boys are going to have to suck it up. You know, a lot of kids have moved. Sure, it could be rough, but they get over it. It's what you have to do sometimes, take care of the family. But that's not the scenario. So, Emma, yes. Now, would I have taken this job if Nora said no? That's a little tougher.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Wow.
And deep down, 100% blunt honesty, truth of the matter is, I probably still would have taken this job. That's just the truth.
Well, you've been commuting, so you probably would have
commuting.
tried to make it work long distance, at least see how that happened.
Right, for as long as possible. Mm-hmm. Could we do it for the next 5 years? Because the 13-year-old has 5 years of school left until Nora had, didn't have to worry about the kids, and then she could come down here with me. I don't know, maybe. 3 hours isn't that long up to Detroit, but it's still it's still long.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're going to do it every single weekend.
Right.
And one of you has gone one way or the other pretty much every single weekend.
Oh, that's 100%. There's not been a weekend since February 1st that we have not been together. It's either here or there, for sure. But for a job like this, I don't know if I would have turned it down. This was a dream opportunity. This was my dream job.
The hard part is, what if you turn down the job and then a year from now the relationship fails and you're regretting, what if I'd have taken the job?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Because don't get me wrong, 2 years is a significant amount of time to put into a relationship. But by no means is 2 years the end all be all.
And Indianapolis is only 3 hours away.
Yep. Same scenario.
So you can try the long distance thing.
Here's what bothers me about the scenario presented in the letter, is that the boyfriend, in no uncertain terms, is not willing to consider moving. He's making the decision that's best for him, which I don't, you need to do that. And you're not married, so it's not that complicated. It's a little complicated, but it's not as complicated as it would be if you were married.
Yes.
He's making a decision based on what's good for him, and she needs to do the same. And is she going to resent him on down the line if she turns down her dream job?
And that's exactly what Lori just texted. Take the job, you'll end up resenting him down the road.
Yeah. I mean, that could be. Also, it would bother me as the girlfriend that my boyfriend would know this is what I've been working for my entire career, and it's finally happened. And there's not a conversation about maybe moving to Indianapolis. It's just an absolute no for him.
Yeah,
and he wants her to quit. He wants her to not take the job.
No conversation had.
I feel like that's. I would not like that. I would not like that. I would say, can we at least have a conversation about what's going to be good for the two of us as a couple? And if not, I need to make the decision for myself.
Gerald says, take the job. Sorry, if it's a life-changing job, you got to take it. If that's what you've been working for, I get it. Chris, so what you're telling me, Goose, is Columbus is just another stop on your list. Absolutely not. I am done. I am done moving, by the way, Chris. They better keep me till I die in this studio because I am not leaving.
He asked for a billion-year contract, kind of like Scientology, and they wouldn't give it to him.
I know. I was very mad. I was like, I will broadcast the Blitz up in space when the UFO picks me up. I am staying.
You said it off air to me this morning, and that's probably the third or fourth time you've said it. This is your dream job.
100%. 100%. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Tiffany says, take the job.
Yeah.
As someone who chose the relationship over the job and is no longer in said relationship, take the job, girl.
Now, I would say to me, my relationship with my husband is more important than anything. Anything. There is nothing that would separate me from him. But we're married.
And have been for a while.
And have been for a long time. And so that wouldn't even be an option
right.
if one of us, we really didn't. But we would absolutely have a discussion about it. It wouldn't be like, absolutely not, don't take the job. There's a lot more that goes into a decision like that when you're married.
Right. After, 30 years or whatever it's been.
And how are you going to feel, whoever texted, or who gave us the letter?
Emma.
Emma, yeah.
Emma. How are you going to feel, too, that you made a big sacrifice for him that he was unwilling to make for you?
Gonna resent. There's gonna be resentment there. 800-821-9970. Have you been in this situation before? Help Emma out. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. 99.7 The Blitz. All right, talking about Blitz therapy, brought to you by Tri-State Men's Health, and Emma wrote in saying, this sucks up one side and down the other. Been with her boyfriend for 2 years, just got offered her dream job, but it's in Indianapolis. Some of it is, he doesn't want to move. He's rooted here, his family's here, he loves his job, he's made it clear that he's not willing to move. I'm not sure what to do. Turn down the job, stay with him, or leave him and take the job. Let me tell you, real quick. Sure, we could go down one by one, but they all say the same thing. Take the job. I'm sorry. I think we can all say, especially in today's times, yes, 2 years is an investment. Yes, you're in this committed relationship 2 years. I'm sure you've exchanged I love yous, and I'm sure you have feelings for this person, but don't pass up that dream job. Not for a 2-year relationship. As you said, Kelly, there's no way if you get offered a job in Chicago, you're going to leave your husband. There's going to be a discussion. You're probably rooted here. You're not going to leave, but at least you'll talk about it.
Right.
And you're not giving up your husband for a job.
No.
That's more than 30 years into a committed relationship, a marriage.
Yeah.
Not 2 years of dating.
No.
Gerald says, I used to drive 2.5 hours to work one way for a relationship, only for her to be cheating on me for more than half of it. No. All because she wouldn't move halfway and split the commute. Now I know why.
Yep. Can't do it.
I feel like either, you're in this 2-year relationship he's definitely the guy for you if you're not considering moving out of town. Like, you're considering it. You want this job out of town. And
right.
So obviously that shows me a little bit that you might be willing to break off the relationship.
Yes. I think this is 3 toes out the door.
Yeah, we're just
you're not quite a full foot out the door, but you're creeping that way.
We're giving you permission, and he's like, "No, I'm not moving." And you can say, "Okay, well, gave it a shot."
Yep. Absolutely. First of all, there are plenty more men out there. Second of all, Indianapolis is a really cool town.
Very cool.
So, Emma, you got to take the job. That's our advice. Thanks for writing in for Blitz Therapy. Another patient cured. 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
A Dayton area Republican has been stripped of his committee assignments in the Ohio legislature following an investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct involving a minor family member. According to the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation records, Representative Rodney Creech was accused of inappropriately touching a minor multiple times and climbing into the minor's bed. And though Creech did admit to getting into bed with the minor, and the prosecutor described Creech's behavior as concerning and suspicious, the prosecutor says there wasn't enough evidence to prosecute him. Now, Creech says he's being falsely accused by people who want to derail his political career, and he says he is pursuing legal action. A new study says 1 in 4 U.S. children has at least one parent with a substance abuse disorder, most of them with alcohol abuse disorder. That is about 19 million children in the U.S. impacted by one parent having an addiction. It also found about 6 million children have at least one parent with both substance abuse issues and a mental health disorder. So that is an interesting finding, and they're trying to figure out how to work with doctors to sort of screen for that and help the kids out as much as possible. There is a new book coming out next week, authored by two journalists, CNN anchor Jake Tapper and Axios reporter Alex Thompson. It's called Original Sin: President Biden's Decline, Its Cover-Up, and His Disastrous Choice to Run Again. Advanced copies have been distributed, and one of the more interesting things in this book, these journalists say that then President Biden attended a Hollywood fundraiser in June of 2024. This was right before that disastrous debate performance with Donald Trump. That Biden did not recognize his longtime friend, who was also hosting this event, George Clooney. The reporters say that Biden was giving very curt answers to Clooney when George Clooney was trying to talk to him, until an aide went up and said, "Hey, this is George Clooney." And he goes, "Oh yeah, hi George," which is interesting. And I find this non-politically, I find it very, very fascinating that, that this whole event took place. The book also describes former President Obama being taken aback by Joe Biden's appearance at the event, frequently stepping in to finish sentences for him. And then less than 2 weeks later was that debate against Trump, and then Clooney calling for Biden to step out of the race. So it's an interesting thing. You can see sort of the steps that happened there with George Clooney getting involved, because that was kind of a big deal when he came out and said, "Hey, you need to step down," and all that. So it should be an interesting book. I don't know if there's like political, I'm sure there's a political angle to it, but it is like CNN, Jake Tapper. I wouldn't feel like he would be against or trying to have an agenda. But it is interesting to study, as it was interesting to study Ronald Reagan and his decline in his second term. You know, it's just sort of an interesting thing I'm sure we'll be looking back on for years.
It's almost, and again, we don't get political on the show, but it's almost interesting for someone as liberal as George Clooney, like you said, to step in and go, "Oh, this ain't the guy." So to be able to separate the two, kind of, your political affiliation versus what is the right thing to do. So, anyways.
Right. Yep. All right. Those are your three things.
Everybody on their feet here in Cincinnati, and a worldwide television audience watching here at Riverfront Stadium. 2-1 pitch from Schaub in the left center. There it is. Rose has eclipsed Cobb. That's number 4,192. For Pete Rose, this certainly his crowning achievement. And for baseball, a game that grows from its past and finds warmth in statistics, this is one of the all-time great moments.
There you go. The day that Pete Rose broke the the overall hit record for Major League Baseball.
Ty Cobb's.
And then, of course, we all know the story from there.
Jeez.
Went on to be a manager, to bet on baseball, to get banned. And for years, people fought to have him reinstated. And for years, the MLB said no. Not going to happen.
I've never been able to get a clear answer. I always heard he only bet on the Reds. So he only bet on his own team, and I know you still can't do that, but I don't see anything wrong with it, honestly. Personally, for me, if you only bet on your own team, you know what I mean?
No, I see it completely opposite. If you bet on your own team, that's the worst thing you can do, because you're the manager. You can control the outcome of the game. If for some reason you're down on your luck and you want to make a lot of money and you're favored by 10 runs, and then you decide, I'm going to throw the game because I put money on the other team because the odds are so different.
That's what I mean, though. He only bet on his own team to win.
Yeah, well, again, you control the outcome. But either way, yes, you can't do it, and we all know lifetime ban.
And I understand why you can't.
Yeah, he got the lifetime ban. But it was announced yesterday, Major League Baseball is going to reinstate Pete Rose. And now he will be eligible for Hall of Fame.
And do you know that's a rule that when they die, when the player who's suspended dies, they automatically get reinstated. Isn't that crazy?
Well, then why is this such a big deal? I don't think you automatically get reinstated. That's exactly what the whole thing was about. Did you give me a piece of paper? I don't see the piece of paper.
Oh, no, I did not.
Okay.
I was looking for it because I could have swore I read that this morning.
Oh, because I thought that was the big deal, that they weren't going to reinstatement. Well, anyways, a lot of people are up in arms saying, really, you're going to do this now if you couldn't do it when he was alive? Because if it was going to be done anyways, why would they make the announcement if it was going to be done anyways when he dies? That's my only question. But here's the problem. You're going to do it now that he's gone and can't enjoy it. And this is what he had to say years before he died.
I don't see much sense in putting me on the ballot after I die. Most of the people who rooted for me my whole career would love to see me in the Hall of Fame as a living player, not as someone who's 10 feet under. What good would it do my family if they put me in the Hall of Fame after I die? Because I'm the one that did the work. I'm the one that put the time in. I'm the one that was dedicated to the game of baseball. I was the one dedicated to my teammates and for the game of baseball in general. I tried to sell the game for my 24 years as a Major League Baseball player by going out there every day and busting my ass and trying to entertain the people.
And he did.
So here's the deal, because he was not the only one reinstated. So was Shoeless Joe Jackson and the entire Chicago White Sox team from 1919 and the World Series. So the ruling was that the reason he was reinstated is because there is now a new rule, as dead players no longer need to be on the permanently ineligible list. So that's why they're being reinstated, because they changed the rule. So it was not like that before. So that's why people are like, you had to change that rule now. You couldn't change it before he died and could enjoy this with his family. So, will it happen? We'll have to wait and see. Because of everything that went down, he will not be eligible. The committee doesn't vote again until December of 2027. He could be in the class of 2028 at the earliest. So we will see if Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson get in that year.
Well, I thought it was nuts because the thing is, it's supposed to be about what you did on the field.
Yeah.
You know, and that as a player, as far as the Hall of Fame goes.
Yeah.
He wasn't, that had nothing to do with what he did as a manager. So I still feel like he should have been in the Hall of Fame, whether he was suspended from baseball or not.
But but managers can be put in the Hall of Fame that didn't necessarily have an extravagant career on the field.
Yeah, but they go in as a manager.
And not as a player.
Right. You go in as a player, but you can also go in, like, it's just like a football player. You can go in as a player, but you can also go in as a coach.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, we will wait and see. The class of 2028 as the earliest they will be eligible. We'll find out if that happens. 99.7 The Blitz.
Hey, it's Ronnie Hunter. Join me this morning till 11 a.m. for the grand...
Now, let's see if we can learn you something. Sit up and pay attention.
Yeah, let's make you a little bit smarter than you were when you woke up today. Julianne Moore won the Oscar for Best Actress for the movie Still Alice in 2015. And it was directed by a guy whose name was Wash West. Now, here's the thing. If you have any desire to get into the entertainment business, just know that any job is a good job and you can continue to work your way up through the ranks, because Wash West directed an Oscar-winning film, and he got his start by directing gay porn.
Oh, wow. I did not think that's what you were going to tell me.
So
I thought he was going to be like he was the janitor on a movie set or something.
No. He was the director. He was just directing, when he said, action, more, it was not about Julianne. It was more about other stuff. Trivia question for you, Thick. I'm going to give you some names of some musicians, okay? Listen closely. ABBA, The Beach Boys, Bob Marley, Diana Ross, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, The Notorious B.I.G., Oasis, Queen, Snoop Dogg, and The Who. All of those musicians have one thing in common. What is it?
Oh, man. Well, this is not the Hall of Fame. This is not the Hall of Fame, because some of them are in the Hall of Fame. I mean, they all have... all of them?
All of them have something in common.
The hell does
And you're on the right track. Kind of. Not the Hall of Fame. You're right, it's not the Hall of Fame, but it does deal with music. Radio silence.
It's got
dead air.
There's music.
Come on.
There's music in the background. How am I supposed to? I'm thinking.
What else deals with music?
The Grammy Awards. They've never won one.
None of those people have won a Grammy Award.
No kidding.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Did you say Diana Ross? She's never won one.
No, never won one.
I get it with the Rock. You know, the Grammys have always with the Rock. It's been Queen. Wait, Queen?
Queen hasn't won a Grammy. Nope. Not a single
see, this
Grammy.
is why I hate the Grammy Awards. I hate them just like I hate the Hall of Fame.
There's a term for elderly men who pass their time watching construction sites or road work.
No, I can't. I have no clue.
They're called UMAREL. UMARELL.
UMAREL. Does it have?
I didn't look up the word. I have no idea. I know that it's a word.
What?
It's a word for old men who pass their time by watching construction sites or road work. Did you know that cats sleep so much, but by the time they turn 9 years old, they've only been awake for about 3 years?
Yeah, I thought it was like 2/3 of their life.
Yeah, they sleep for 2/3 of their life. And finally, here's kind of a encouraging statistic. In 1997, 24.6% of 12th graders smoked cigarettes every day. That's 1 in 4 high school students smoking every day. By 2023, it had dropped to 0.7%.
How about that? Got rid of Joe Camel and bam.
1 out of every 143 seniors. Crazy difference. Now,
that's impressive.
Now, vaping has replaced some of that, but not as much as you think. In 2023, only 5.8% of high school seniors were daily vapors.
Okay.
So
we've done well.
We've done well. Between the cutting of the advertising and the messaging and the research and knowing how bad it is for you, we have done very, very well.
Dude, I would tell anybody, man, don't ever.
Don't do it.
Don't. It was they're the worst thing ever invented, cigarettes.
Pretty much.
I mean that with every fiber in my being. I wasted so much money.
And health.
Oh, God, just stupid.
I'm not about government control. You're allowed to do what you want. But it's amazing to me that these companies are allowed to basically operate with impunity, knowing what they're doing to us.
Right. And I don't know that we've always known, since they've been around.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The way the business grew and the way the government grew at the same time, and then you've got lobbying and so on and so forth. Yep. And let me be the first to say I am a total hypocrite because I do it.
Yes, I vape.
And
I have cigarettes from time to time, especially if I drink alcohol.
Yeah.
And I know you do when you drink.
Yeah, absolutely.
But and you're right. When you look at it with cigarettes, same thing with alcohol. I just read that alcohol kills more people annually than opioids and drug overdoses combined.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So, but yet it's legal. And I think what happens is we have these things when we find out they're not good for us, like cigarettes. It's such a massive industry. If you all of a sudden said, this can't happen anymore, do you know how many people would lose jobs and how much revenue would be into? I mean, I think
tax dollars and such. You're right.
I think that's what it is. And same thing with the alcohol industry. My God, if you banned alcohol now,
don't you dare touch my captain.
How many millions of people would be out of work?
Don't you dare touch my captain.
I know, right?
I'd be so mad.
Right.
I'd be so mad.
Yeah.
I can't head out on a Sunday fun day and have a nice captain and diet. You're not doing that.
But how many? I mean, the millions and millions of people that would be put out of work. You think about all the distributors and just
absolutely,
everything.
Without a doubt. There you go. Learning you some stuff on a Wednesday morning, 99.7 The Blitz.